Man, I love talking college football. It's easy to talk about, and it's fun. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Bluted, home of the college football fan. So if you are a college football fan, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button because that's all we do around here. And when you get a second, go check out the Patreon page. We have a lot of great perks over there. And right now, I'm in the middle of a back-to-back-to-back live show. Tonight will be the second one just for the Patreons. Also check out our revamped and redesigned website. Created by Joey Foster, we have 9 great writers, led by our 2 head writers, Michael Walker and Scotty B, the Baylor King. On to today's video. This is a bit ridiculous. Not going to sugarcoat this. A little bit ridiculous. So the head football coach, Tuskegee University, a small FCS school, made a post that really angered Alabama fans. The name of the guy is Reginald Ruffin. Now the post has since been deleted, so I don't have a copy of it. But from the reports that I've seen, I basically know what it said. And the gist of it was calling out Nick Saban. Who would call out Nick Saban? And why? Well, we already know that Jimbo Fisher called out Nick Saban, but it was because Nick Saban already called out Jimbo Fisher for the NIL thing. He said he paid for his entire recruiting class for 2022. But in this particular post, Reginald Ruffin, the head coach of Tuskegee University football, accused Alabama of not scheduling smaller in-state schools in the FCS division. When I look at Alabama's schedule year to year, I see small FCS schools all the time. Give me wins, but this guy is specifically saying in-state. He has a problem with Alabama not scheduling in-state FCS schools. And he actually lists a bunch of schools, including, you guessed it, Tuskegee, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Jacksonville State, who will soon be FBS, Sanford, who Georgia scheduled this year, and North Alabama. These are all smaller FCS schools, and they call these games money games. Why? Because the FCS schools really don't have a chance to win, except when they play Florida State. We all know Jacksonville State beat Florida State last year, but Jacksonville State will soon be FBS. So they're basically putting the safety of the smaller schools' football players in jeopardy for money. I'm okay with that. As long as they're okay with playing the game and making the money, that's on them. That's their decision, not mine. Alabama fans didn't take too kindly to this, and a lot of people label some of these responses as death threats. HBCUsports.com listed them. One response was extorting money from the University of Alabama. These are Alabama fans saying this. So an Alabama fan said that post was basically saying those smaller schools in state that want to play Alabama are extorting money from the University of Alabama because they have no chance of winning and all they get out of it is money. A second response was, don't run, coach. That one's a little more serious. And then finally, just watch yourself, buddy. That one's way more serious. That's definitely a threat. I don't know if that's a death threat, but it's definitely a threat to some degree. Now, according to Reginald Ruffin, his ultimate goal and the purpose of the post is to eventually get Tuskegee to the Division I level. That's not how it works. Making posts saying you should schedule us more. You should schedule more in-state FCS schools. That's how we get to the next level because we get more exposure playing Alabama. That's not how it works. Yes, you will get more exposure to getting your butts handed to you on a national television. That's not really exposure that's going to get you to the next level of Division I. That's not how it works. Now, on the flip side of this, on the Alabama side, we all know that Saban accused Jackson State and, of course, Texas A&M of taking abusive liberties of the NIL as far as basically buying athletes. But we all know that big schools have been doing this for a while. It's just legal now. So that was the biggest thing that really baffled me about that back and forth. Nick Saban was accusing Jimbo Fisher of something that everybody does, but he's just mad because Texas A&M finally beat him in recruiting and said they paid for their entire recruiting class. We paid for our players, but we didn't pay for our entire recruiting class. He didn't really say that, but that's basically what's happening. And whenever he did that, no threats were made on Saban's life. So Saban, I guess, is held to a higher standard because he's the greatest coach of all time, I'm guessing. So he's above everything. If he takes a shot at somebody else and he gets no backlash, but if somebody takes a shot at him, then the person taking the shot gets massive backlash, including threats. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. For one thing, the response by Alabama fans, a little much. Just a little much. That's a pretty big knee-jerk reaction just for a post saying, Alabama doesn't schedule enough FCS schools that are in state. That's a big reaction for that. And it's a little hypocritical because Nick Saban takes shots at other people for the NIL thing. Why is it okay for him to take shots at people, but it's not okay for people to take shots at him? That's where I'm having a conflicting thought about this. Look, I love football. Any of you that have been around, well, any amount of time around Gold and Blue Dude, you know that I love football. But it's not more important than life itself. Life itself is more important than football. Just because somebody makes you mad about football doesn't mean that you should threaten that person with some sort of violence or death threats. That doesn't make sense. That's not the real world. Life moves on beyond football. This is insane. So everybody needs to relax, calm down, and really think about what you say before you type. That's the biggest thing. People don't think before they type. And they're very courageous behind the type board because nobody knows who they are and they can say whatever they say. I see it a lot here on Gold and Blue Dude, which I encourage trash talk. I'm not telling you to stop doing that. I'm just saying life is more important than football. Think before you type. So how this ends, I don't know. Will Nick Saban apologize on behalf of the fans? Probably not, but it's a possibility. Will the fans themselves apologize for their own actions? Probably not, but it's a possibility. Will Reginald Ruffin apologize for that post, which I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I hope he doesn't, but it's a possibility. How this ends, we will see. The point of this video was just to show you the crazy reactions of college football fans. And don't get me wrong, I am not lumping all of Alabama fans into this category, okay? Don't get that out of this video. There's crazies out of every fan base. We have crazies in our own fan base, the West Virginia fan base. What I am saying is the crazy fans are the loudest fans, so it makes the entire bunch look bad. So those of you that are true Alabama fans, and whoever school you represent, make sure you represent your school in a sane way. Think before you type, because you know this stuff will get to the media, and guys like me, we're gonna make videos about it. And the funny thing is, the West Virginia fan base gets a bad rap saying that we're crazy. You know, the whole stereotypical toothless, inbred, meth head, all that good stuff. But you don't see posts like this from many West Virginia fans. Not that I can find anyways. Maybe it has happened and I just haven't found it. But Alabama fans really posted this stuff. And that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not lumping every Alabama fan into this category. Just like if there were a West Virginia fan that posted some crazy stuff like that, you shouldn't lump the entire fan base under the same umbrella. It's actually a hurdle that I have to clear every time I promote these videos. Oh, he's a West Virginia fan. He must be a nut. Doesn't know what he's talking about. What does the team that I'm a fan of have anything to do with how much I know about college football? This is why I love college football. It's so easy to cover. The content is always great, day after day after day. That's how I'm able to do a video every single day, because that's how entertaining college football is. Y'all let me know in the comments section what you think about this situation. If there is an apology to be made, who should make that apology? That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on my next show.